But Deputy Micheál Martin, the leader of Fianna Fáil, put this on the agenda in the week after the election, and real reform is needed in the coming weeks. I welcome the work and the establishment of a cross-party subcommittee on Dáil reform, which will hopefully bring meaningful reforms to the table. I have to say, as a new deputy, I was taken aback on the first day in the Dáil to hear Deputy Doherty dismissing and sidelining the need for reform of the Dáil. Deputy Riley has reinforced that from Sinn Féin's perspective. We all have similar issues in health, housing and so on, but to just dismiss Dáil reform and sideline it is wrong, and your own membership of the committee undermines that principle. We need to introduce the reforms, to have the debates on the key issues, to bring more oversight, to empower the Dáil. This will be the difference, not the negative posturing and empty populist rhetoric coming from my side here, attempting to derail Dáil reform, which serves no purpose. And I hope Sinn Féin will embrace the spirit of reform and respect this House. We are at a fundamental crossroads.
Yes.
I'm a member of this committee. I intend to work very hard, and I have to date. I am not glib or in any way dismissive. And Ceann Comhairle, if you could, I do not want that record.
Your point is made.
Thank you, Ceann Comhairle.
We're at a fundamental crossroads in Irish politics, where we can embrace proper, real and substantive Dáil reform to restore the spirit and capacity of the Irish Parliament to provide the counterbalance to the Irish Executive. We must not present anemic, minor or symbolic reforms which will make little or no difference to the workings of Irish democracy. Now is the time to make the fundamental change and shift to uphold the respect and potential of Dáil Éireann. The reforms in the coming weeks must alter the nature and quality of Irish politics and debate. And I submitted my own document in relation to Dáil reform. One issue is attendance and the quorums. I think standing orders need to be amended so that we have more members present. It's not realistic that everyone is here all the time with committee work and so on, but I think we need a greater threshold of attendance in this House as a matter of reform, and I think standing orders could be amended to actually reinforce that. There are powers vested in the Taoiseach presently under Section 24 to control the summons and postponement of the Dáil. This should be amended so the majority of the TDs are collectively empowered to summon the Dáil from any adjournment that may have been imposed by the Taoiseach or the Executive. This would help to balance the degree of control on our parliamentary democracy. We need to work to prevent legislation being guillotined by raising the democratic threshold, requiring the agreement of the Ceann Comhairle and requiring 2/3 of members present to support the legislation. There is an absolute need for democratic consensus around guillotine legislation, and if legislation is of national importance, then it will need a higher democratic threshold to be progressed. This would increase the level of debate, oversight and input on matters of national importance, which might require an accelerated progression through Dáil Éireann. I propose the expansion of debate for topical issues to limit the current formal tit-for-tat and to ensure a greater depth of debate and accountability of government. This Dáil must end the current archaic process of ministers with potentially any real, or they're limited in terms of their background knowledge of an issue, that they must debate beyond the answer that's been given to them by a department official. They should be able to go beyond that. It might be advisable to extend powers to the Ceann Comhairle, as has been mooted in the Dáil reforms, to ensure ministers who appear for topical issues are accountable for the questions asked, and if any further questions are asked which are not reasonably responded to, such questions could be perhaps followed up with an extended topical sessions period in the week following the topical issues event that arose on the previous week. This extended topical issue session relating to questions in a previous week should be added to the current Dáil schedule with new additions to current standing orders. And I welcome the proposed reforms which will vest powers in the Ceann Comhairle to ensure ministers properly respond to the questions asked. I also believe, as a strong mechanism of reform, that all major government announcements, exchequer returns and departmental initiatives should be formally announced in the Dáil chamber before any public announcement. This would allow debate and oversight on such announcements where they can be teased out. Prior leaking of such announcements should be sanctioned and investigated by the Dáil and the Ceann Comhairle's committee. We need to end the practice of ministers swanning around in their chauffeur-driven cars making announcements about this, that and everything relating to their government department, and they should be able their powers are vested from this Dáil, and they should respect that.
Please conclude now, Deputy, please.
I hope my own contribution, as well as the proposals from other parties and deputies, provides a collective platform to achieve the Dáil reform that we are all striving to progress for our people and our Parliament.
Thank you.
Thank you.